Title: Unsolved Questions Behind the Amityville Horror. On the cold night of November 13, 1974, a quiet neighborhood in Amityville, New York, became the stage for one of America's most infamous crimes. A crime so strange, so terrifying, that decades later, people still argue whether it was the act of one disturbed man or something far darker. Inside the DeFeo family's large Dutch colonial home, 6 members of the family were asleep. At around 3:15 in the morning, the silence was broken by the crack of a rifle. Ronald DeFeo Jr., the eldest son, moved from room to room, shooting his parents and 4 siblings as they slept. The victims were found face down in their beds. No signs of struggle, no one had tried to escape, each one killed with a single shot. But here's where the case turns disturbing. Neighbors just a few feet away claimed they never heard the gunfire, and the coroner later noted that the family had not been drugged. How could an entire household be killed, one after the other, without anyone waking up? When Ronald was questioned by police, he at first played the part of a grieving son. He claimed the mafia had carried out the murders. He even blamed a mob hitman. But within days, investigators found holes in his story. His timeline didn't match. His details kept changing. Finally, under pressure, Ronald confessed. Yes, he had killed his family, but he gave a chilling explanation. He said voices, unseen, commanding, relentless, had driven him to do it. Voices that told him he had no choice but to kill. At trial, Ronald's defense tried to use insanity, claiming he had been possessed, or at the very least, mentally broken. But the court rejected it. He was found guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder and sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms in prison. Yet the mystery doesn't end there. Experts, investigators, and even paranormal researchers have questioned the details ever since. How did 6 people remain motionless while gunshots echoed through the house? Why didn't a single neighbor hear the rifle fire that should have rattled the street? And then, of course, there are those voices. Were they the delusions of a disturbed man or something else? The DeFeo murders became the foundation for the infamous Amityville horror legend, a story that has inspired books, movies, and endless debate. But beneath the fiction lies a very real, very terrifying crime that still leaves behind more questions than answers. Nearly 50 years later, the Amityville house still stands, quiet, ordinary, and yet forever marked as the scene of one of America's darkest nights. Description: the Amityville murders shocked America in 1974. 6 family members were brutally killed inside their home, and the case quickly became one of the most infamous true crime stories in history. But questions remain. How did no one hear the shots? Why did none of the victims wake up? And were the voices Ronald DeFeo Jr. claimed to hear just insanity or something darker? In this video, we uncover the chilling true story behind the Amityville horror. Subscribe for more true crime and scary story time every week. Like if you want deeper dives into unsolved mysteries.